Welcome to Fantasy 1.0. On this episode, we're going to talk about what you need to finish top 3 in each offensive category in your draft. So get your pen and get your paper and grab a seat.
Put your seatbelt on and yield for the apocalypse, yeah. It's the apocalypse, yeah.
All right, so I did a little bit of research. It wasn't very much fun, but I put Moneyball on in the background and I just sort of hammered through it. So what I did is I looked at a standard 5x5 rotisserie league, the standard 5-hitter, 5-pitcher stats. What I did is I looked at, I took about 20 leagues from last year and the year before, because I know last year was a little bit of an aberration. It was a little bit more offense than normal. I averaged out what it takes to finish top 3 across those 20 leagues. Now, why I think there's value in this is I've watched some podcasts earlier this year and also last year where they did this as well, but they did it across, let's say, all CBS leagues and all Yahoo leagues. Now, the thing with that is none of these leagues or not all of these leagues, I should say, were money leagues. In other words, some players probably, or let's say some, team managers just sort of punted. When they knew at the All-Star break they weren't going to win, they stopped trying. I know the leagues that I were in there was a little bit of money on the table, so they were a little bit more competitive. And I know most of the guys that I was playing with, and I know everybody sort of plays for pride at the end and nobody wants to finish last. So I think these stats may be a little bit more value if you're, serious about drafting and you want to get good at it. These are sort of the totals that you need for your team as a whole, and then also for each position. So now remember, this is a 5x5 standard league. So this is catcher, first, second, short, third, 3 outfielders, 2 utility players, and then pitching for 1,500 innings. This is where batting average is a category and saves are a category as well, obviously. So let's start with hitting. So to finish top 3, drum roll, you need 900 runs. You need 280 home runs. You need 900 RBIs. You need 120 stolen bases. You need a 275 batting average. And if you're using on-base percentage, I checked that too. You need about a 360 on-base percentage. And again, that's going to get you top 3. If you finish top 3 across all those categories, let's say a couple of them are 1s or 2s, you've just won your league. But before I get too far ahead of myself, let's talk about pitching as well. Pitching, you need 95 to 100 wins, 100 saves. You need 8.5 Ks per 9. So you basically need to strike out an inning. You need to also fill your innings. All 1,500 innings need to be accounted for. You need a 3.55 ERA and a 1.18 whip. Again, it's going to help you finish top 3 across those categories. But now let's see what that looks like for each player. So looking at all of those positions that I just spoke about earlier, each of your hitters on average needs to score 90 runs, have 28 home runs, 90 RBIs, 12 steals, 275 batting average, or a 360 on-base percentage. That's where things get a little bit creative, right? Because this is where you can take your Joey Gallo, all power, no batting average, no speed, and you can pair him with a D. Gordon, 300 batting average, 110 runs, 0 homers, 50 steals. You throw those two together, you're probably averaging out to, you're on target for that. So this is where you don't need that stat line for every player. And obviously, especially catcher, second base, shortstop, they're likely going to be lower than your corner infielders or your outfielders, more offensive positions, right? But you're going to want to average all of that out, and that's what you're aiming for. So again, and you can check out our website. I'll tell you at the end, there's going to be a link at the bottom. You can go and actually look at these numbers that I came up with as well. Moving on to pitching. So again, this is kind of a mix of starters and relievers, but each pitcher, let's say, on your roster or on your staff needs to get 9 wins, 11 saves, 8.5 Ks per 9, about a 3.55 ERA, and a 1.18 whip. Now again, this is where you start to mix and match, right? You have a starter with a bit of a higher ERA and let's say only strikes at about 7 per 9, but he wins you 15 games. Make sure you've got that dominant reliever. You've got your oldest Chapman, who's striking out 12 per 9. He's got a super low ERA, super low whip, maybe throws you a couple wins, but he's going to save you 40 games. Remember, you're averaging all this out. So again, I hope you check out our website. Message me at Twitter as well. So I'm at Fantasy 1.0. Links right below. Let me know what you think. But again, check out all this information on our website. And if you have any further questions, just let us know. Over and out.